The ARK Survival Ascended skill tree is here, and it's not just a minor tweak. Love it or hate it, it's gonna be a full-blown game changer. With over 21 powerful passive and active abilities, this system can give you a massive advantage if you know how to use it right. Whether you're a PvE grinder, a hardcore PvP raider, or a breeder looking for that perfect imprint, this guide has everything you need to understand, unlock, and master the new skill system. So let's dive right into this one. So how do you get started with the new skill tree? Well, if you have purchased the Day 1 Lost Colony Pass, you might have noticed a new tab in your game, which has its unique icon and will be in red. Opening this will lead you into the skill tree. Once you're on this page, you will have 3 tabs in the side, which is gonna be your skill tree, your active skills, and your milestones. So to get access to the skills, you will need skill points, and the way you access the skill points is by doing milestones. Now, every milestone will come in a set of 3, and once you do all 3 of these milestones, you will be rewarded with 3 skill points. And there will be a total of 25 tasks, making the grand total skill points of 75. So the question arises that can you acquire every single skill with the 75 points? Well, first let's go ahead and take a look at the skill tree. As you can see, there is a tier set of 4 branches, each increasing in skill points cost. So the tier 1 skills will cost you 1 skill point per level, and this will go all the way up to 3 levels in each skill. The tier 2 skills will cost you around 2 skill points, and it's gonna again have 3 levels on this one as well. The tier 3 is gonna cost you 4 skill points, which will have only 2 levels on this skill. And the final level on the branch will cost you a whopping 13 skill points with only 1 level to access. And the way you go and gain the skill is by holding E once you have the skill points. So for example, the first tier will require you 1 cost per level, unlocking the next branch of tier skills, bringing the grand total cost to fully max out at 171 skill points. So the answer is no, you can't have every single skills currently, as you will have to plan and branch out the skills accordingly. And now that that's out of the way, let's check out every single skill and what it has to offer. So first up, we have the hot-blooded skill, which is your natural health regeneration is increased by 100% each level you put into it, going all the way up to a max of 300%. Now keep in mind, every time you're regenerating health, you are gonna rapidly reduce your food intake, and also the regen doesn't work when in combat. If you are fighting something and taking damage, you will not get any health regen from it. You will have to go out of combat like any other MMO game, where you will then start regenerating your health rapidly. Now there are different ways to increase the health regen, and they are gonna be the aggravatic mushrooms, any sort of food that you consume, medical brew, Lazarus chowder, and the fryer curry. So the way this works is, if you know about the aggravatic mushrooms, it heals you slowly over time. So for example, right now that's the speed of health we're getting, and if you eat a bit of aggravatic mushrooms, you get a slight boost when your health regenerating. Same with the cooked meat, as you can see, it goes up in speed. But if you go to medical brew, that goes instantly into your bloodstream and starts pumping out HP like it's nobody's business. Now there is a way to even increase this further, and that is going to be your Lazarus chowder and your fryer curry. The way this works is, the Lazarus chowder, as it says, it slows your rate of oxygen consumption, and also you gain extra health regen. So let's go ahead and consume this. And the second one is going to be fryer curry, mainly to slow your rate of food consumption. So that way you reduce the amount of food you're consuming when you're regenerating health. So let's have that as well. Now if you pop in the aggravatic mushroom, a cooked meat, and a medical brew, just look at that health. That is insane, making it an amazing tool for PvP. For boss raids, you must have this combination, and every time you pop in a medical brew, it just rapidly increases your health. Now you will have to be out of combat to take full advantage of this. Next up, we have the well-oiled machine, which reduces the repair cost of item and structures by 10%, 20%, and a max of 30% every time you put a level in that skill. So next up, we have the experience killer, where your mount gains 10 to 20 to 30% when maxed out increased experience from kills. So currently we have 437 experience, so let's see after the kill. Now we have 469. That was a level 5 Bronto, so let's go max out our experience killer and see how much do we make the difference of. That should give us an increased experience of 30%. So previously we got around, I think, 32 XP from a level 5 Bronto. So let's go ahead and kill this guy. Let's see how much experience we have now. That's 527. 570. So around 43 experience gained. That is certainly need to have to level up your creatures. So if you're fighting a bunch of Spinos and trying to level up your creatures, it might be beneficial. Next up, we have Bloodlust, which when you kill an enemy with a melee weapon, you gain 10, 20, and all the way max to 30% movement speed for 5 seconds. So let's go ahead and test it out. There we go, Bloodlust activated. It's a short burst, but it's not that crazy. It is okay, I guess. There we go, it's activated now. I mean, you can notice it. Did you just see that? How the speed went down once the 5 second ran out? But it doesn't stack or anything like that. It's just 5 seconds burst and then you're done with it. And this is only for your character and not for your mount. Next up, we have the heavy footed, where you take 10 to 20 to 30% of reduced fall damage depending on how many levels you put into the skill. Only when you suffer the fall damage, you knock back enemies within 10 meters of you. So let's have a look at that. And this will only activate if you take fall damage. If you don't, it won't activate. And the radius is really small. Also, if your fall is broken by any creature, it will not do it. There we go, that pushed him back. Unfortunately, this won't work on larger creatures and only work on smaller creatures. The max I've seen it work against is the Ceratosaurus or the Allosaurus and the Carno. The Rex, the Brontos, anything beyond that is not going to be pushed back. Next up, we have the mounted Opportunist. Whenever your mount kills an enemy, it has 5% to 10% to 15% when max leveled to restore 10% of its maximum stamina. So let's go ahead and try that. There we go, we're at 0, so let's go and see if we get any boost. Okay, there we go. Got 33 stamina, so yeah, it does, but we had to kill a bunch of stuff to even get that, and in my honest opinion, I don't think it's that worth it. It may be a situational case, but if you're like to get a quick stamina regen, it's not gonna be that helpful. Next up, we have bonded taming. So creatures you tame will gain a 10% or 20% or 30% at max level imprint bonus for you. So let's go ahead and test it out. So here we have knocked out a PT. Let's go feed it. And there you go. That's the imprinting affinity on a wild creature with damage plus 9% and resistance plus 9%. Next up, we have Speedy Harvester. So harvesting a resource node can grant you 5% movement speed per stack for 10 to all the way up to 20 seconds at max level, stacking up to 5 times. Now this one is amazing. So let's go ahead and test it out. So the way this works is you have to completely harvest anything. So for example, you harvest a bush completely, you get ×1. I harvest another bush, I get ×2. Another one, I get ×3 of 20 seconds every time. And it's just 5% movement speed, 20 seconds per stack, stacking up all the way to 5. But there is also one more thing that can work. So if you have unlocked the tech sword and you want a quick boost, all you want to do is run up to a stone and hit it, whack it, and there you go. Just adds all the way to 5. That easy. You don't have to wait to harvest anything. It's just one hit and you get the boost. So that is another neat thing that you can use if you have access to the tech sword and you just want to get movement speed instantly. When you just see a rock, hit it and you'll get that +1 instantly. Next up, we have Strong Back, which reduces the weight of structures in your inventory by 10%, 20%, and a max of 30%. Next up, we have Bob Blades. Your metal sword and pike attacks have a 2.5% to 5% max chance to cause bleeding, dealing 5% of the target's maximum health as damage over 10 seconds. So let's go and test that out. There we go. That didn't take long. That was nice. Let's see if we can get it again on this guy. You know what, that is not that bad because it doesn't take that many hits to get a bleed on the creature. So it is kind of worth it to have. because you are gonna do bleed damage to the health of the creature, so that is neat. Now obviously you need to have maxed out armor to go against any creature or to use it in PvP, because if you can't last to get the bleeding effect, it might be pointless, because it is only a 2.5 to 5% chance depending on how much of a min-max you do it on the skill. Next up we have Smoke Magician. So smoke grenades you deploy last for 15 or 30% longer. Throwing a smoke grenade instantly breaks you out of any trap and drops aggro for creatures while you remain in the smoke. However, this comes with a 3-minute cooldown. So we have a tripwire alarm, we have a narcotic trap, and we have some bear traps. So let's see if this can disable all of them, or is it something else. Let's first drop this and see if we can disable the sound alarm or the narcotic tripwire trap. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that wasn't disabled. So let's see if we get stuck in a bear trap, can we get out of it? So yeah, we have a couple of traps. Let's see if that can be escaped from. There we go. We're completely stuck. Can't move out of this. Let's go to smoke grenade. Pop that down here. Put that down here. Okay. Yep, that works. But what if I'm stuck while in the smoke? Okay, so you can escape with the smoke grenade, but since there's a 3-minute cooldown, if there is a spam of bear traps, you will get stuck in it. And it doesn't mean that if you have smoke around you, you cannot get stuck on a bear trap again. If there's multiple traps, you will get stuck, as you saw in the video, and you cannot move out of it unless you wait for 3 minutes and then pop another smoke grenade, which has to be really close to the bear trap to escape it. Next up, we have the Essence Eater. Whenever you kill a creature with your mount, it has a 10% chance to gain 2.5 or a max of 5% increased damage for 20 seconds, stacking it up all the way to 3 times. So let's have a look. There we go, that's better. Come on, I need more. How easily can we stack it? That's a bunch of mantises, but we still just got only one. With the buff, we're doing 116, okay? So remember that, 116 with the buff. Let's see without the buff. 74. Holy shit, that's almost double. Okay, I'll say that is a neat thing to have, but the frequency you get after killing a bunch of mantises, I only got it once. It never stacked up. So it's not gonna be like you're gonna get the 3 stack. You'll need a lot of creature kills to stack it for 3 stacks, which will give you a minute of double damage. Next up, we have the Imprinter, where imprinting creatures you are raising is going to be 5% all the way to 10% more effective. Next up, we have the Midas Touch. When harvesting a resource node with a tool, you have 3% to 6% chance to turn the node to gold, indicated with a gold dust, which you'll see in the video. Gold nodes have increased health and can be harvested for more resources. As you can see, that is the gold node. So now this one will have more than the other trees that you harvest. That's basically what it is. We are going to try something interesting. And this is going to affect any resources that you mine. So like the stone, the trees, and even carcasses, because even harvesting the Diplodocus give it the Midas Touch, which now will give me more resources. So prime meat for mutton. You can use it against the sheep. And that got me thinking, if it also works on creatures, on trees, on stones and everything like that, does it work on the element node? So let's go check that out. And lo and behold, it does work. It gives you the gold dust, which means the Midas Touch works with the element node, and it also works with the big element node, which is at the heart of the element vein, so you can use it. And there we go. I mean, look at the amount of element we got. It's way more than normal. Also to note that even the light post gets the Midas Touch effect, and if you want to maximize on this, you can also use the pickaxe, get the Midas Touch, and then use your creature to farm it, because that way it still technically is a gold node which the creature can farm. Next up, we have mass production. When you craft ammunition, you have 3 to 6% max chance to produce twice as many. So in this test, what we're simply going to do is just craft ammo. So we'll go ahead and do some simple bullets. We don't have GCM, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to craft 30 without the skill. Okay, there we go. So that gave us 60 bullets. Let's take that out. And now let's level up our skill. Now let us try crafting 30 of them with the skill and see how much we get. So we got 2 additional bullets. All in all, is it worth it? Maybe if you're crafting in a bulk case scenario, you are gonna get a couple extra bullets here and there. And that is pretty much all the passive skills. Now let's go on to the active skills. So once you've unlocked your desired active skills, the way you access them is by going into the active skills tab, where you simply go ahead, drag it and drop it into your hotbar, and then you can later use it. So first up, we have Curse Reflection, giving us an active ability for 4 seconds, where you can reflect 50% of the pre-mitigated damage back to your attacker. So for this test, we're gonna go against the Dillo. Now, bear with me. I want to show you something that it can do, okay? So here we have a Dillo. And what I want to show you is that this doesn't only reflect attacks, well, it can also reflect special attacks. So note that the Dillo has its spit, right? Look at that. I got hit by that, but also the Dillo is hit by his own special attack. That means he's slowed down and blurry vision and all that. So any AI special ability, if you can time it right, you can reflect it back onto that creature. So if you get Fire Breath attacked, you can reflect it back. You can get Bleed attack, you can reflect it back. Gigabytes, you can reflect that back on the Giga as well. It is a huge ability, but it is only a small window of 4 seconds, and it's going to be really strategic to use it. Next up, we have Spirit Rush. Now this is going to give you an active ability for 15 seconds, giving you 100% movement speed and giving you the ability to phase through wild and your own tamed creature. So here we go, we can pass through the Bronto. Let's hit few of these rocks so we get our speedy harvester, so we get more, but we cannot phase through enemy creatures. No, we can't do that. So you can phase through your owned creatures and wild creatures, but if there is an enemy creature, you will not be able to phase through it. And yes, you can use the speedy harvester as a buff to get even more movement speed. Next up, we have Spectral Mount, which gives you an active ability for 15 seconds where your mount becomes spectral. While spectral, it cannot be targeted by wild creatures, it ignores all stamina cost, and you cannot be forcibly dismounted from it. Okay, so here we have a wild Giga, so let's get its aggro. Now let's activate it. Oh, it did ignore us. That is neat. Okay, we also do get infinite stamina when we are in this mode, so let's do a barrel roll. Can we do another one? I think we could squeeze in one more. Yep, that didn't cost stamina. So we can squeeze in 2 barrel roll, and if we did not waste time to get the aggro of the Giga, it would be more. Overall, this is an amazing ability, and I can see many use case scenario, so it is cool to have. Next up, we have Twin Imprint. Now this is as the name suggests. If you want to share your imprint with somebody else, you can activate this while looking at that character, giving him access to the 30% imprint bonus for the creatures you have raised on your own. Now this will only be effective for 60 minutes, after which the ability will fade away. Next up, we have Tracker, which is going to give you an active ability for the next 60 seconds to give you the ability to track any of the following within 80 meters, which is going to be the enemy players or enemy structures, and as well as resource nodes. So let's go ahead and test it out. There we go. That should show us the metal nodes. Also, good luck finding the mesh bases with this, as it only highlights with red and doesn't give any kind of floating image like it does with the resources. Also, you cannot search enemy dinos. And finally, we have Telekinesis, which gives you an active ability for the next 60 seconds where you can access inventories, pick up dropped items, and toggle structures that you can see within 30 meters. So we should be able to access it like so. There we go. Can we turn it on? I think we can, but not from the menu. You'll have to hit E, and there we go. That's turned on. You can also go ahead and turn on the turrets from a range. So it is pretty neat. And also you can access bags and pick up dropped items as well. So let's go ahead and drop an item here. Let's just drop this primitive pick. There we go. There we go. It's green, and let's press E. We picked it up from 30 meters, which is cool when you can't access or reach something. For example, it's in a lava, it's by a Giga. You can just stay in a 30-meter radius and just pick it up, no problem. And this is gonna come in handy, so it is gonna be a must-have ability. And that is pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to smash the like button, as it always helps with the algorithm, and subscribe and share around, as that always supports the channel. With that, I'll Survive signing off, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace out.